I figured to give our shoulders and arms a break and focus on legs today. So, as I said, please have a block, have a strap, and blanket to come to a comfortable seat to begin. We're going to be working on breaking down Pravrita Ardha Chandrasana. You guys have all done this with me, revolved half moon, but we're going to be doing that versus working on vinyasas. So we're going to be doing, I think, 5 different versions to work our way into the full pose and to break it down, how to use your legs to balance, where your core comes in, how your hips come in. So we're going to be breaking it down a little. I hope everybody enjoys it. But coming to a comfortable seat to center. And just take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Exhale fully. And then take a few breaths to adjust your seat. Just the flesh out from under your sits bones. You're sitting on the edge of a blanket or just on the earth. Feel the weight come down into your legs. And then find that length through your side bodies. Notice if when you sit to one side heavier than the other, and try to adjust so that you're sitting equally into your sits bones. Hips are parallel. Feel that lift. Find that nice long spine up the middle. Shoulders softly lay on your back. And just come to your seat. Not really controlling, but noticing your breath as you settle into your physical pose. And move the focus from your physical pose to your breath. Just noticing if it's dry, how you're feeling this morning. Myself, been a little tired all week. Just notice and acknowledge how you're feeling, how your breath is. And acknowledge that as we go through class. Begin lengthening your inhale. Extending your exhales. Finding that 4-counter longer inhale and exhale. As we work through class today, using your block as a tool to bring the earth to you, using your strap to help feel how your muscles and joints work together. Like our breath, this is going to be one of those classes that's slow and pointed. Moving to your Ujjayi breath, if that's part of your practice. With your next exhale, bringing our arms out to the side, fingers reaching for the earth. Arms are active as we roll our thumbs towards the ceiling and inhale to reach up. With your exhale, round your back, arms reach forward. Inhale, sit tall, arms to a T. Exhale, thumbs roll towards the earth, arms reach back and fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale and round. Inhale to a T. Exhale and fold. Inhale, reach up. Let's do 3 more with your breath. The end of your third, finish by lifting your arms tall, and then exhale, release your arms to the sides. Lean back on your hands, and let's switch the cross of your legs. Adjust your seat. And we're going to lift our palms, so they're sitting just above our knees. And now bring your focus to your hips, your core, your obliques, everything. With your inhale, with your exhale, we're going to twist to the right. Hands do not come, hands stay lifted. Activate that core. Feel your perineum pull up, your belly firm, that whole corseting action. Feel your obliques tighten and pull in, and even your back muscles. Everybody's getting in on the program. Try to keep your neck out of it. Neck is soft, gaze is soft. Tightening your neck will not get a deeper twist. Keep the twist in the belly. With your exhale, left hand to right knee, right hand to the earth or to your block. And then see if there's any more space to twist a little deeper. Check in with those hip points, that your hips are staying square to the front. And lift your hands off the earth, floating arms. With your exhale, coming back to center, and release your arms. Taking a breath here. With your inhale, lift your hands, pull everything in. Feel your hip points just sink right down into the earth so your hips are cemented in. And with your exhale, begin to twist to your left. Right hand hovering over left knee. With your inhale, feel everything sort of settle. And then with your exhale, notice what can pull in. Perineum, feel that corset. Feel those obliques tighten. Belly pulls in, belly firms. Even your shoulders. Shoulders and back. Everybody's involved. And with your inhale, check in with the front points of your hips. Exhale, release that right hand to your left knee, left hand behind, and see if there's a little deeper twist, or maybe instead of a deeper twist, can you bring your hips back towards parallel to the front of the mat. Those hip points, your headlights, so to speak, facing forward as your spine turns. It's the rotation of the spine and the belly and the low thoracic that we're looking for. Lifting those hands. Feel all those muscles kick back in to realize how much work your arms do, or how much support your arms give. And exhale back to center. Release. Those muscles that we were playing with, we're going to be playing with all day, entire class. When we work on our pose and breaking down our pose, it's going to be that same basic set of muscles, our hips, core, and back. So even though we're going to be moving slow, I think everybody will find something they enjoy. That being said, let's come over to our table. Slide your blanket out of the way. Coming to your table, checking with your pointer fingers are parallel. Feet are coming straight back from the knees. Back is flat, belly's pulled in and firm. And with your exhale, round your back. Push that earth away. Get that big stretch through your shoulders and your high back. Inhale, belly drops. That little back bend, your belly sags like an old nag horse. Exhale, push the earth away and round. Inhale, belly drops. 3 more with your breath. The end of your third, coming back to your table for just a moment, realigning, checking in with the pieces and parts, pushing the earth away, but your heart is soft, belly is lifted and firm, tail's tucked just slightly to accommodate that lift and firm, feet are pushing down into the earth. With your exhale, we're going to take that right leg back, left arm reaches up. Coming into that extended balance pose. Again, notice the hip points. Your hip points are facing towards the mat. As your thumb and the back of your heel lift for the ceiling. Exhale, release. The inhale. With your next exhale, left leg reaches back, right arm reaches forward. Pull in that belly, push the earth away. Fingers are gripping on the left hand. And then the right thumb and left heel reach for the ceiling. Exhale, release. Now, depending where you're at on your mat, you might walk your hips back or you might walk your hands forward. We're going to keep our hips over our knees and walk our hands out, coming to a down puppy. We're going to be here for just a couple breaths. Your hips may even go back towards your heels to find that length that you're used to in your down dog. All is well. Taking a few breaths here, feel those shoulders finding some space, getting a little opening. Then we're going to lift our head, going to bring our left hand back, just like a half a finger's worth. Right hand is going to reach between the left knee and your left hand, and just come in for a good stretch. We're not trying to move onto our shoulders today, we're just trying to get that stretch in the back. So once your arm is fed through, bring your attention back to that right hip and move it back. Think of those right hip point and left hip point being level and pointing down at the earth. Inhale, come back to that puppy. And push that right hand into the earth. Fingers are clawing. Get your space as your left arm feeds through between the right hand and right knee. Again, we're not coming onto the shoulders. We're not doing that roll. We're getting that stretch across the back. Move that left hip back in space so your hips are parallel. You should feel a nice stretch right in the back of your shoulder. That long muscle that reaches down alongside your spine. The base of your delts. Inhale, come back. Both hands, tuck toes, and rise up to your dog. Woo! Should feel good. Got a little stretch here and there. Take your puppy for a walk. Whatever sounds good. Bending one knee, then the other. Bringing the heels over to one side. Whatever works for you this morning. That nice deep stretch. And then here in your down dog, bring your feet outer hips width distance apart. A lot of us try to bring our feet, toes together, closer together. Bring them a little wider. Make a little space. And then inhale, come forward to your plank. Breathing here, pushing the earth away. Feel those legs lift as your heels reach back. A little tuck to the tail, firm that core. And just breathe. Check in with the pieces and the parts. Heart is soft even though you're pushing the earth away. And then exhale back to your down dog. Waking up those arms and legs. With your inhale, come forward to your plank. Then take a full breath here. Check in with those pointer fingers. And then we're going to roll onto the outer edge of our right foot. And our left foot's probably going to come flat onto the earth. Hopefully everybody can see my feet. Left foot, flat onto the earth. Right foot, I'm on the outer edge. Coming into a twist. It feels like you should be going up into side plank, but keep that arm down. We're looking for the twist this morning. Torso's coming parallel. Hip points are facing towards the room, the other side of the room. And breathe. Isn't this a fun one? Woo! Who knew you could make side plank harder? Inhale, come back to the balls of your feet. Push back to your down dog. Such fun. Remembering to breathe. With your inhale, come forward to your plank. Check in with your hands. And then roll to the outer edge of your left foot. Right foot comes to the earth. Your shoulders are facing the earth. Top of your torso is facing the earth. The twist is at the waist as your hips are now facing towards the right side of the foot mat. Push those arms away and breathe. Inhale, back to your plank. With your exhale, go back to your down dog. Woo! Oh, yummy. Take a breath here. Inhale. High on the balls of your feet and walk to the top of the mat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, take a nice deep fold. Hands come where they will. But begin to find the corners of your feet, the four corners. The ball of your big toe, little toe, inner outer edge of your heel. Feel the opening in the hamstrings. If you're one of my tight hamstring friends, put a bend in the knees. Hands to hips and rise to stand. Woo! Okay. From the top of your mat, we're in our Tadasana. We're going to start working on our balance and our core. So as we do with every Tadasana, push down into your feet, and your feet can come in or hips width apart. So a little space between the toes and heels. Push down. Find that lift in the legs, activate the quads, feel those hamstrings. And then hands to hips, and sort of check in that your hip points are nice and level with each other. Your hips are parallel and facing forward. Weight comes to the left leg, and just bend your right knee and come to balance. Now you'll notice the habit of your body is you'll dip. You'll feel that left hip push into that left hand. Undo that dip. Bring those hips to parallel. That's not making sense. Just let your whole right leg droop and feel that push into your left hip pushing into your left hand. Then lift that hip and parallel it. And see how both outer hips just go, oh, hello. Oh, both of us are supposed to do something. Exhale, release that right foot down. Shake out your legs. Come back to that Tadasana. Weight comes to the right foot. Lift, bend into the left knee. Just getting a feel for how our body works coming into standing balance poses. Again, notice that natural tendency. Your right, but now your left hip wants to dip and your right hip is pushing into your hand. Lift the dip. Feel the core activate, feel the hips activate. Again, just let that right hip dip. Feel the left hip sort of droop. It actually gets hard to balance. Lift them up and get rid of the dip. Nice level pelvic bowl. Release your left foot down. And let's grab your block. Because why not?
Bring that block in high and tight. Whee! Your feet will naturally come wider. Check in with your alignment. Hips down. You got to cock for the block. And then sort of feel as you tuck and you feel the block move forward. And then as you go the opposite direction of the block, I'll turn sideways so you can see. So this way, block's pushing back. This way, block's pushing forward. We want to be nice and in the center. Then break the block with your thighs. Push it in. Feel the block pushing in. Feel your inner thighs. And just get that feel in your body. Get that thought process going in your muscles. We're just here, taking a breath. Feel the belly firm. Tail drops slightly, but just nice and firm. This is about the legs and the hips. Breathe in here. It's letting your muscles get to know the feeling. Then begin to bend your knees and come into a chair. Keep your block. Your arms can come straight forward. It's a little hard to bring them up. I like to bring mine straight forward. And look down at your feet. Are your feet starting to do this pigeon toe-y thing? Bring them back nice and straight. And feel those inner thighs. Feel the outer thighs. Feel the outer hips. Everybody's got to do something to hold this block in place. Inhale, come on back up. And grab your block. Keep your block towards the front of your mat. Now that feeling we just had in Tadasana, holding that block there, that's the feeling we're going to go through as we work through class. Okay? Back to the top of our mats, ladies. Plant down into your feet and inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale and lengthen. Plant your hands and step back to the top of a plank. Take a full breath here. And exhale all the way to the earth. Tops of the feet to the earth. Arms come alongside your torso, facing up towards the ceiling. Palms facing up. Take a breath to align your body, the pieces and parts. And with your exhale, lift up. Now feel those legs here. Pretend that block is between your thighs. It's crushing the block. Lifting and breathing. Exhale, coming down. And stack your hands for your forearms. Take a couple breaths. If it feels good, roll your hips back and forth to give some space to your low back. One more time, let's bring those arms alongside our torso, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Adjust your hips, your legs. Inhale. With your exhale, lift everything up and then think of that block. You're smashing that block. And breathe. Exhale, come on down. Hands come under your shoulders. Feet come closer together. Inhale, up to a cobra. Coming into Bhujangasana, a bigger cobra pose. Pulling that heart through. Then exhale, lift up to your up dog. Get that clearance in the legs. Pushing the earth away, but the heart's still pulling through. Legs, find that block and crush it. Then exhale, back to your dog. Breathing gently, breathing fully. Inhale, rise high and walk to the top of the mat. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, forward fold. Again, taking a fold, getting that length. Feel the four corners of your feet pushing down into the earth, and then feel that length all the way up as your hips are trying to reach for the ceiling. Top of your leg bones are reaching up for the ceiling. Find that length. Hands to hips, core pulls in and rise up. Hopefully that's making sense, the crush the block feeling. We're going to start using it a little different way. So have your block somewhere in front of you, but we're not going to use it right away. This round, we're going to come to our Tadasana. This is where we're breaking down our Ardha Chandrasana and the twist. Push down into those legs, hands to hips. We're going to bring the weight into our left hip, left foot, left leg. Lift that right leg, bend the knee. Check that your hip isn't dipping. Hips are nice and parallel. Find a nice gazing point. And with your exhale, begin to come to something that looks like a warrior three. Maybe your right leg comes straight, maybe not. Hips stay parallel. Feel the fold in the left hip, with the left hip crease, then come back up. Release your leg, come to center, stretch it out. Come to your Tadasana. Get that tuck, square those hips, level those hips. Weight's going to come into the right leg. Left foot, bend at the knee, and check to dip the hip. Even if you intentionally let it dip and then pull it back in. Think of that block. You're smashing that block between your thighs, and then coming down. Hips are trying to stay parallel. Core activates. Hopefully balance is working. And if it's not, inhaling back, release the leg. So is that making sense what we're doing? We're working our way in using our core and our legs. We want to make sure that when we're here, we're not taking off. We want to be nice and square. So no matter which leg we're on, tendency is to do this. Square it up and then think of the block, push it in, and fold. So core is allowing us to fold and come back up. Leg is bringing in the balance. Coming to the top of your mat. Gonna inhale, reach our arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale and lengthen. Plant your hands. We're gonna step our left foot back. Windmill our arms up. Straighten that right leg and come to a wide leg stance. Woo! Let's turn that left foot out and come to warrior two. Now see, think of those legs. Push into the ball, push into the outer edge. Activate the legs. And just be there. Gaze is over your right fingers. With your inhale, straighten that left leg, reach forward, and come to your Trikonasana. Inhale back to your warrior two. Heel toe that left foot in. Heel toe that right foot out to the other side. Check in with your alignment. And come to your warrior two on the other side.
Gaze is over the right fingers, breath is full. With your inhale, let's straighten that right leg, reach forward. This is where we want to dip the hip. And come to Trikonasana on the other side. Inhale back to your warrior two. And then just bring your foot to center and jump. And come to the top of our mat. How about you guys? I'm getting warm. Woo! Clothing adjustment, beverage adjustment, water beverage. Finding our feet. Find our Tadasana. Bring the thought to you crushing that block. Crushing it with love because this is yoga, so we're not just smashing blocks. And then also feel as you push into the outer edge, that push away. Whole leg is active. Hands to hips. Hips are nice and parallel. Let's bring the weight to our left foot. Check for that hip dipping. Parallel those hips. Lift that right foot. Now have your block handy. We're going a little deeper. It's going to take a little more core. We're going to exhale forward, forward, forward. Straighten that back leg. Hand touches down. High setting of our block. Now check in with your hips. If your right hip is still lifting, bring it down so it's parallel. Big hip crease in your left leg. Right hip point is facing towards the earth. Now activate that leg, activate that core, hand back to core, come back up. Woo! How was that? Fun times? Oh, mixed reviews, lovely. Come back to center, push down into those feet. Crush that block, and then feel as you're pushing in, roll into the outer edge, that whole leg. You're pushing in and reaching out. Leg is active. Weight comes to your right leg. Left knee bends. Checking in here with the pieces and the parts. When you're ready, with your exhale, bending in the crease of your right leg. Maybe left leg goes straight, maybe not. Left hand to the block on a high setting. Now check in again. Bring that left hip down so you're level. Hips are level across the top. Left hip point is facing down towards the earth. Back to your fingertips. And lift back up. Whee! Coming up is always more fun than going down. Shake out your legs. And let's just take a big step. Outfit adjustment if needed. We're going to turn that left foot out. Come to warrior two on the left side. Maybe coming a little deeper, maybe not. Legs are working hard today. Maybe this is just not what they're in the mood for. Feel that core pull in. With your exhale, left arm to thigh or inside, right arm comes over. Get that nice long stretch from the right fingertips to the outer edge of the right heel. Breathing. Whatever version is right for you, find the stretch on the right side. Inhale back to your warrior two. Heel toe that left foot in, heel toe that right foot out. Coming to warrior two on the other side. Breathing softly, breathing fully. Your exhale. Forearm to thigh, arm inside right leg. Left arm stretches over, bicep to hug temple. And find that long length from your left fingertips to the outer edge of your left foot. Inhale to your warrior two. And then turn that right foot in. And jump to center. See, we're getting a little bit of cardio in our jump. Woo-hoo. Coming back to the top of our mat. Now, my friends, this is where your block starts to play a big part in breaking down this pose. We're working our hands down to the earth. If down to the earth isn't working, your block is here the rest of the way to bring the earth to you. So last time we were on the high level, this way. We're going to bring it down this way, so it's going to be on that medium height. Bringing it over more towards the left, coming to your Tadasana. Crush that imaginary block. Feel that strap like you've got one, you've worn them before, pulling out. Activate those knees. Find the four corners of your feet. Toes may lift to help. Hands to hips. Bringing the weight into our right foot. Left knee bends. Check with your hips. And with your exhale, forward fold at your right leg. Left leg may stretch, may not. Left hand comes to the block, high, medium setting. Then check in with that left hip. Activate the left leg. If there was a block that could fit between both legs, you'd still feel them crushing. Left hand to left hip, and rise up. Are we feeling it in the core? Going down should be in the legs. Coming up should be in the core. Okay? Though, quite honestly, by the time we get to the last version, I feel it from my toes to the top of my head, so it's all good. Slide your block over to the right. Push down into those feet. Find your Tadasana. Weight comes into your left foot. Bend that right knee. Square the hips. And exhale, folding into that left leg crease. Hand comes to block. Leg stretches out. Check in. Drop that right hip. Think of smashing that block. Activate that lifted leg as much as the low leg. Right hand to hip. And lift back up. Woo! Oh, you guys look swell. Nicely done. Shake out the legs. And let's take one more wide stance. We're just going to do a nice, easy warrior two. Turn that left heel toe out and come to your warrior two. We're just going to be here a couple breaths. Just a nice, different way to move the hips and legs. Heel toe in, nice wide angle. And heel toe right out, right over to your warrior two. Excuse me. We're going to windmill our arms down this time. Come to that long lunge. Step forward. And forward fold. Depending on your hips and hamstrings, this may feel wonderful or maybe not so much. But getting that nice stretch, pushing down into those legs, knees are soft. Feel that stretch. Hands to hips and rise up. Bringing your block down to the low center. I like to step back a little. I don't know why. Something in my peripherals just make it make more sense to me. Coming to your Tadasana. Push and crush that block that's between the thighs. Feel that strap above the knees, pulling out. Weights coming into left leg. Check in. Hips are parallel. Bend the right knee. Take a breath. Check in with your legs, pushing into the inner edge, the ball of your big toe, and the outer edge of your left foot. That helps keep your leg activated. Come on down, come on down, come on down. Okay, I'm falling over today. I don't know about you guys. Woo! Block is here. Now, if you've reached the point where the block is not appropriate, bring it back up a level. Check in with your hips. Whoa, sorry, I have no balance on this side today. Apparently, this is low enough. Left hand back and lift up. Woo! I just showed you all the ways not to do it. All the ways to fall out of pose. As long as you do it gracefully and smiling, it's all good. Find that balance. Slide your block over for the right hand. Make that determination. Was that height good? Do you need to come up, or are you good at the lower level? Check in with your legs. Crush that block. Weight comes into your right foot. Left knee bends. And exhale to fold. Take your time. There's no rush. Hand comes to block, no matter how far away it feels like today. Whew. Stretch that back left leg out. Wobbling is wonderful. Realigning is better. Oh, good gracious, guys, my apologies. Hand to hip and rise up. Whew. Release those legs. I don't know about you. My legs are starting to feel like Jell-O. And my core is ready for a latte. One last time. Again, yogi's choice. Block sets off to side. Come all the way to the earth. Or the block on any stand, any height. Come back to the front of your mat. Find the four corners of your feet. Hands to hips. Push actively into those legs. Bend right knee. Check in with your hips. Check in with your thighs. Exhale. Come on down. Bringing that right hand to the block or to the earth. Check in with those hips. Even for a breath, bring those hips a little more parallel. Left hand stays on the hip to keep that hip moving towards center, not jutting out. When you're ready, lifting back up. Whew. Is it just me, or is it getting out of it a lot harder, the lifting up than the going in? Guess what? We have a whole other side to do. Yay! Come back to your Tadasana. This side may be different, so make your determination for your block, no block, high block, medium block. Find your Tadasana. Bend back. Left knee. Got my legs confused. See, I switched sides and I confused myself. Exhale. Begin to forward fold. Left leg may straighten. Left hand finds the earth. You may be up on your pinkies, you may be on your block. Think of squaring the hips for one level moment. Push down into the four corners of your standing foot and push back into the four corners of your lifted leg. Feel that block smash even here. Left hand finds the hip. And try to lift back up. And release. Whew. Shake out those legs. Mine are beginning to feel like jelly. And then let's just come to the center of our mat. And just be here for a moment. We've been working the pose pretty much all morning from stand and fold. Stand and fold. We're going to take it to how we're used to doing it in our practice, in our classes, going from a pose straight into the pose. Have your block in a grabbable spot in case you decide you need it. And let's step wide. So there's been a reason we've been stepping wide all morning, not just to give our legs a break. Let's turn that right foot out first. Come to our warrior two. We're going to shorten our stance, hands to hips. Shorten our stance, straighten our leg. Back foot is planted. Left arm reaches up and comes down. We're now coming to the full pose. Arm reaches up, Pravrita Trikonasana. Taking a couple breaths here just to get the whole picture in our mind. Let's release that left hand down, right hand down to that right hip. Bend that right leg and swoop forward. Left leg lifts. Think of lifting that left hip. Left hand is on the earth of the block and right arm reaches up. Oh yeah, oh yeah, woo! Fun times. With intention, stepping back. Hand to earth, right leg straightens. Bend that right knee and windmill up. Whew. Back to our five-pointed star. Release your hands and step in. How was that? See how the hips, even when we're going from up pose, lifting up to, how our hips and our legs give us that lift, even if we're going from a pose. So think of that. Don't overthink it. Let's step wide. Left leg comes out. Turn that left foot out. Whew. Let's just keep the left leg straight. Turn the hips. Adjust your stance. And begin to forward fold. Right hand is coming to the earth. Left leg is straight. Right arm reaches up. Revolved triangle. Just sort of giving our mental picture to ourselves. Left hand back to left hip. Bend left knee. Look where that hand, right hand, is going to land. Step up. Right leg lifts. Crush that block, that imaginary block. Woo! And lift up. Maybe your left arm reaches up towards the ceiling, maybe not. Lift that right hip. Check in with that dip. Even if we're here for just a moment. Exhale. Bend the knee, step back, right hand. Revolve Trikonasana. Windmill your arms up. Woo! And step in.
Nicely done. Oh, I don't know about you guys, I've had enough of that excitement for one day. Come to the top of the mat, inhale, reach our hands up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to lengthen. Plant your hands, step back to a down dog. Take a breath. Come right to your Balasana, child's pose. Woo! Who knew a child's pose could feel so good? Walking your hands back to sit on your heels. Leaning over to one side or the other. I don't know about you guys, my core's had enough work. We're just gonna come to lay on our back. Grab your block and bring it with you. Knees are bent, feet are on the earth. Check in with those pointer fingers for your heels. Nice alignment. Walk your tush to your heels if that's easier. Grab your block. Crush that block between the thighs. This time your block's going to be more towards the knee end of your thigh, but not at the knee. So mid to low thigh instead of mid to high. Push down into the four corners of your feet. Tuck those shoulder blades. Exhale and lift. Arms can stay in robot arms. You can bring them out to the side. If the bind sounds good to you, bring your hands up behind your back and take the bind down to earth. With the block, you may need to adjust your footing. May come in slightly. And keep lifting, keep smashing that block. Crush that block with yoga love. Lift those hips, feel that stretch across your front hip points. Exhale. Release it on down. Remove your block. Hands out to a T. And coming to a twist of your choice. It can be a nice gentle twist. We've done a lot of twists in hips, so if you want to go for a big twist, your body's ready. Inhale, come to center. Realign your torso. Bring that left hip to the midline and come to your version of a twist on the other side. Inhale back to center. Realign your torso and walk your legs out straight, coming to Shavasana.
Bringing movement to your toes, to your fingers, to your ankles, and to your wrists. Bringing your arms up overhead, stretching through one side, stretching through the other side. Taking a full body stretch. Bring your knees into your belly, gently rocking side to side. Coming through one side or the other, up through center, finding your way to a comfortable seat. Whew. Resting your hands, palms up, palms down on your knees for a moment of reflection and calm. Bringing hands to heart center, bowing chin to chest. Lokaha Samasta Supino Bhavantu. May you find peace. May the world find peace. May we all have everything we need. Namaste.